Pokemon Scarlet and Violet certainly was a game that was made, and now they added more of it, and I wanted to do everything. It added and brought back a bunch of Pokemon, a whole different region, a brand new story, and I caught a few shinies along the way. I did all of this in 12 hours, and I was being generous with the timer. So here I'll show you how I completed everything you can do in the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the Teal Mask. It all started on release day, 9 PM my time. I loaded up the DLC and was pinged for a school trip to the Kitakami region. But first I had to check out the new, features. Pokemon boxes actually load now, the camera is cool, but kind of broken, and you can bring back a bunch of other friends, and a bunch of more stuff. But first, I have to see who I'm going on this field trip with. You can tell which characters are important because they're given an actual name, and all these guys do nothing. Like the guy who's in charge of the trip is literally named the Caretaker. The new teacher, Briar, from Blueberry Academy, which is in the Unova region, was our supervisor of the trip, and we were dropped right into the region.
Chills. Goosebumps. Actually, I don't have goosebumps. Yet. Dude, we're so back.
Pokemon DLCs are a bit weird because you usually have level 100 Pokemon when starting them, so I decided to just catch a Pokemon right off the bat.
He's on the team.
And use what I can find for the whole story. It was the starting area, so there was a bunch of Route 1 Pokemon, and mainly just bug types. But lucky for me, those are my favorite type of Pokemon. And after catching them all, I finally went into town. Or attempted to.
Oh my god, a shiny Cutie-Fly at the start? Oh my god. What?
Not even 25 minutes in, and I found myself a shiny Cutie-Fly. The pink shiny is already amazing, but I used this guy in my Sun and Moon playthrough, and he's really good. Hopefully maybe one of the world's first Pokemon DLC shinies. I don't know, I named him Ashwin. And right when I walked into town, I fought a girl named Carmen, and lost. My Pokemon were all either dead or at very low HP because I just caught them. Anyways, it doesn't matter if you win or lose here, so losing is probably optimal time-wise. Yeah.
You're almost as strong as my sis. No one's ever gonna see this dialogue. I didn't expect you to put up such a fight against me. My Pokemon weren't healed. I guess you pass. Barely.
After talking to a Hypnurse Droy and getting some sleep, I got a selfie stick. This is actually a blessing to Pokemon YouTubers. Anyways, we now gotta hear the town story by going to some signboards. I paired up with Kieran, Carmen's little brother, but first we had to fight. And I won this time. And after catching a few Pokemon, I heard a tale that didn't matter, and Kieran met my ride. And on my way to the next signboard, I talked to my old teacher, Jack. He was here for some reason, and he made a weird joke about him and Gulpin making an egg. Anyways, you'll see what that hatches into later. And I continue catching new Pokemon. There's actually only 100 new Pokemon to catch, and it's pretty easy because you can evolve them right after catching them. And while I was catching them...
Dude, the uniform, like the fact that they only let you be in the uniform is ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. Wait, is that a shiny Magikarp over there? Bro, I'm sorry, Lombre. Wait, ain't no way. Oh my god.
Yep, I got another shiny. I know shiny Magikarp is in base game, but this shiny is good. I didn't evolve her the whole playthrough, and she wasn't that useful because of that, but she was cool. Also, I evolved Ashwin, and yeah, this shiny is top tier. Oh, and this is what I got from the egg that Jack gave us.
It's a Piplup.
You can get one of the 3 Sinnoh starters here. Oh, and this guy makes chairs. It's cool.
Oh, I'm getting a chair right now. What is this?
My work here is done. I'm going to share the fruits of my labor. Next, I learned about the Loyal 3 and the Ogre. Kieran likes the Ogre, and everybody else likes the Loyal 3. That's all you need to know. Anyways, Kieran wanted me to visit the Ogre's cave, and we battled. Kieran is actually nice and healed me, so I was able to win. But since the sun was setting, we decided to head to the Festival of Masks next. But first, his grandparents got me a bit fitted up, and I had another fight with Carmen. My Pokemon were pretty underleveled, so I may have to use some, tactics, but we made our way to the festival. I got to play a minigame called Ogre Oustin. This minigame was actually good compared to what I was expecting in the DLC. The base game minigames were so bad that the bar was pretty low, but it was fun. After the Ogre Oustin, we found a young kid. Well, I think everyone knows at this point, but it was the Ogre. And she was just a really cute Pokemon that dropped the Teal Mask. And guess who has to return it? For now, Carmen and I had to keep this secret from Kieran, which will definitely end well. But the next day came and I talked to Carmen and her grandfather, and he told us the true story of the ogre and the loyal three. Long time ago. Actually, I won't make you sit through all that. Basically, the town was racist to a man and the ogre, so they wore masks that would let them in the village. The loyal three tried taking these masks because they seemed valuable and caused a fight with the man and the ogre. The whole town blamed the ogre for this, and they praised the loyal three, and that's how the story was made. It really is convenient that we know the one person in town who knows the true story. Like, really, I'm just on a school field trip. Oh, and someone was listening to the conversation. Afterwards, I had a awkward confrontation with Kieran, and we headed to the last signboard. Yeah, I know, I still have to go to these. After making it to the last storyboard, I fought Kieran again. He had a Diplin, which was nice, and I could tell that my man was going through a little villain arc. Like, look at this frame. But that was the end of the day. And the next day, I was greeted by a classmate. He told me Carmen wanted to talk to me, but I wanted to talk to him again.
Keep me waiting? Are you jealous, little pup? Her partner, and yet you're the one who gets invited to her house. What exactly is going on with you two anyway? It's alright, little pup. Maybe one day you'll learn.
Anyways, after looking at some sibling issues, their grandpa said we can fix the ogre or ogre pawn's mask by getting some crystals. But on the way, I was catching a lot more Pokemon. Carmen and I went on a secret mission to get the crystals in this cool but very laggy area. They really haven't figured out how to make water traversal work yet, but you know, they're trying. And while we were looking for the crystals, what's happening? But wild Milotic just came out of nowhere. Also, Briar was here for some reason, but when we returned with the crystals, we found out Kieran stole the mask, knew about the true story, and was angry we were lying to him. So we battled, and I was underleveled, so I used drugs and won the battle. But after getting the mask back, something strange happened. What's happening? Kieran's not even here to see it again. What the? Yeah, to be honest, I have no idea how that happened. I kind of forgot that part of the story. I don't know if they explained it, but they were after the masks. And since we know the real story, we had to stop them. But first, I went to bed, IRL. It was like 2 a.m. Once I started the stream up again, I learned how the Loyal 3 returned to town and took Ogerpon's other masks and went back to Ogerpon's cave to finish her off. So, Carmen and I went to save her. L Ogerpon. I only had to face Monkey Dory here, which was pretty easy, and now we had Ogerpon as an ally. And Kieran decided to help us as well. So after asking some villagers where they went, I had to fight each of these titans with Carmen. It was basically like the Titan fights from base game. The only one I had trouble with was Fizandipity. It's a poison fairy type. Does very well against my all bug type team. And after beating each of them, they dropped their masks, which we gave back to Ogerpon. And it turns out while we were fighting the trio, Kieran told the whole village about the true story. And for some reason, they believed him. I really don't get how they gave up on their very long tradition because a kid told them otherwise. But you know, I'll take it. So we took Ogerpon back to our cave with our masks, but someone had a different plan. Kieran wanted Ogerpon to come with him. So we had a battle, and Kieran's eyes were determined. My full bug-type team was carried by my newly founded Komao. And after the fight, Ogerpon wanted to travel with me. But first, she had to test us. Turns out all the masks we were collecting changed the form of Ogerpon, along with her ability. And when terrestrialized, the masks get crazy. This fight was really cool. We did have one final fight with Carmen, but that was it. The whole story of the Teal mask took me about 7.5 hours, and I wasn't really rushing it. I still had to complete the Pokédex and the side story, and the side story is exactly what I started with. It starts off with a photographer named Perrin. She's from Sinnoh and talks about Hisui a little bit. She even has a Hisuian Growlithe, and she talks about the Blood Moon Beast being somewhere in this region. She knows the general area of where the Pokemon is, and we just need to survey the area during a foggy night. We do this by taking pictures of Pokemon without them noticing. It was pretty fun taking photos of Pokemon in the nature, in my opinion, and she gives a brief description after each Pokemon. And after taking enough pictures, Perrin knows that the Blood Moon Beast will be here. And not too long after, we encounter it.
Oh, shoot. Look at this guy. He's massive.
This Kai is actually sick. A standing Ursaluna that is a special attacker, and the game referencing Hisui just makes me excited for other stuff like this. Like, they play the Legends Arceus theme here, and it just felt really exciting. It was overall a great side story that allowed me to get Blood Moon Ursaluna. With that, I just needed to complete the Pokédex. I was already about halfway there, but first I decided to catch some Pokemon that were around where Ursaluna was.
It's a Snorlax block in the cave. Oh. Look how fuzzy it is, bro. Blocking that cave. Dang. Is that a shiny hoot hoot? Oh, howdy there. Random shiny hoot hoot. That's crazy.
I got 3 shinies and I'm not even trying. But if you do want to see more stuff like this or just want to talk, I stream all of my videos on twitch.tv/myluck_. But besides that mini shill, it was now time to catch all of the stragglers. There's a lot of evolutions I needed to do.
What the? What is this game, bro?
Some I just need to level up, some with stones or other conditions. Like, I didn't even know Basque Legion was able to be evolved here, and I spent a lot of time looking for a Feebas. Alright, after that I did some trade evolutions, thank you chatter, and also my friend Dino gave me the exclusive Pokemon, Gligar and Cramorant. Like, with only 3 Pokemon being exclusive, like, why even add it at this point? And my final 3 Pokemon were the Loyal Trio. I really don't know if I should still be calling them the Loyal Trio, but I'll figure that out at a separate point. I caught them in luxury balls, which did actually take a lot of time, but after catching them all, I completed the Pokédex and got my Kitakami diploma from Jack. He also gave me a Glimmering Charm, which gives me more Terra Shards from raids, so that'll be helpful in VGC maybe if I ever do that. But with that, that's everything completed in the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Teal Mask DLC in 12 hours. Peace.
That's a thumbnail.